Have you ever pondered whether certain behaviors you've adopted are inadvertently alienating those around you, even though no one explicitly mentions it? As we mature, we often settle into customary patterns that feel intrinsically natural. However, some of these routines can subtly transform into blind spots, influencing how our loved ones, associates, and even unfamiliar individuals perceive us. In this video, we're going to unveil 12 understated tendencies that might diminish your poise and create distance with others, all without your conscious awareness. If you're watching this video, comment "great" right now. You'll definitely want to remain engaged until the conclusion, as these revelations, combined with actionable advice, will empower you to implement minor adjustments. These modifications can restore your self-assurance, fortify your relationships, and enable you to conduct yourself with the dignity and esteem you've rightfully earned, profoundly altering how others experience you and how you perceive yourself. Before we delve into the details, I would truly appreciate it if you would give this video a thumbs up. Your support helps me continue disseminating valuable insights for navigating the later stages of life. If you haven't yet subscribed, I highly recommend you do so and activate the notification bell to ensure you never miss any of our upcoming videos. Now, let's embark on this enlightening discussion. 1. Neglecting personal grooming. One of the most subtle yet significant indicators of a shift in an individual's self-perception manifests through their personal grooming habits or the conspicuous absence thereof. It's frequently the initial observation others make, though they seldom voice their perceptions due to innate politeness or a sense of unease. The indicators of a diminishing focus on self-care are unmistakable. Apparel that appears to have been worn for multiple days, bearing stains or wrinkles, hair that is oily, matted, or uncombed, fingernails that have grown excessively long, perhaps harboring grime underneath, or a persistent body odor that accompanies you like an unwelcome shadow. These seemingly minor particulars, in actuality, carry substantial weight. Personal cleanliness extends far beyond mere tidiness. It serves as a powerful reflection of how you present yourself to the world and, by extension, how you value your own being. In one's younger years, maintaining hygiene often feels instinctive, an inherent component of daily existence driven by societal expectations or individual pride. Yet, as we advance in years, life's various demands can gradually erode these ingrained practices. Energy levels may decline, established routines can falter, and for some, a quiet sense of resignation may take hold, a lingering sentiment of "why bother?" This alteration might appear inconsequential to the individual experiencing it, but to those in their vicinity, it is strikingly apparent. Friends, relatives, or associates may not directly address the issue, especially younger family members who struggle to broach such a delicate subject without causing embarrassment or distress. Instead, they adapt in nuanced ways, seating themselves a bit further away during visits, curtailing conversations, or hesitating to offer a warm embrace. These subtle adjustments represent their unspoken response to the message conveyed by your outward appearance. That message isn't centered on superficial ideals of attractiveness or vanity. Rather, it speaks to self-respect. When you disregard personal upkeep, it subtly communicates a sense of disengagement, suggesting a cessation of investment in oneself. This can unconsciously influence how others interact with you. Individuals may emotionally withdraw, extending less warmth or deference, not because their affection has diminished, but because your self-presentation feels like a form of surrender. Conversely, straightforward acts of self-care, a freshly laundered garment, neatly styled hair, manicured nails, a clean fragrance project vitality and dignity. They implicitly declare to the world, "I am still here. I still matter. I respect myself and, by extension, those around me." Hygiene, though a quiet act, serves as a potent invitation for others to engage with you cordially, to perceive you as a vibrant individual deserving of close companionship. It forms a fundamental pillar of how your personal energy influences the bonds in your life. If you are still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment self-care below to affirm your continued engagement. Thank you for your devoted attention. 2. Speaking without discretion. As we mature, the intrinsic editor that once cautioned, "Perhaps it's better not to utter that," can gradually diminish. For some, this feels like a profound liberation, a hard-won prerogative to articulate thoughts candidly after enduring decades of self-restraint. You might proudly assert, "I'm simply being authentic," or "I've lived long enough to voice my convictions." While this unvarnished approach can indeed feel emancipating, it frequently resonates differently with others, fostering discomfort or strain. There exists a delicate equilibrium between candor and tact, and transgressing this boundary can jeopardize relationships. You might observe individuals reacting to your pronouncements with uneasy silences, averted gazes, or restless fidgeting, subtle indications that your perceived honesty feels more akin to harshness. Perhaps you've offered observations on someone's physical attributes, their parenting methodologies, or their personal life choices, dismissing any rebuttal with, "I'm merely stating the facts," or "People are excessively sensitive nowadays." However, honesty devoid of empathy often sounds like sharp criticism, and those on the receiving end may not articulate their hurt. Instead, they gradually distance themselves. Invitations to social gatherings may dwindle, phone conversations might become truncated, or interactions could remain superficial. They are safeguarding themselves from what feels like an onslaught of judgment, even if that was never your original intention. The crucial step is to pause before speaking and pose two fundamental questions. Is this statement genuinely helpful? Is it delivered with kindness? What feels like expressing your genuine sentiment might, in reality, be an unburdening of personal exasperation, landing with more severity than you comprehend. A sound guiding principle is to consider whether you would wish someone to address your child or grandchild in the same manner. If the answer is negative, it's worth reevaluating your choice of words. Advancing in age bestows a wealth of sagacity, and when that wisdom is conveyed with genuine compassion, it possesses an inherent magnetism. People will lean in, eager to absorb your perspective, because your words will foster connection rather than sow discord. By opting for benevolence, you wield the potency of your voice to fortify bonds and garner profound respect. If you are still observing this video and gleaning valuable lessons, please comment wise words to demonstrate your sustained interest. 3. Wearing ill-fitting attire. There's an inherent comfort in familiarity, savoring the same breakfast each morning, traversing a well-trodden path, or slipping into garments that have served as wardrobe mainstays for years. However, when it comes to clothing, an unwavering adherence to the familiar can project an impression of neglect. Trousers that sag or bunch awkwardly, shirts that strain at the seams or cling excessively, shoes that are visibly threadbare, or styles perpetually rooted in a bygone era, these choices convey a message, whether consciously intended or not. While direct commentary may be absent, others undoubtedly notice, and it undeniably shapes their perception of you. This isn't about pursuing ephemeral fashion trends or attempting to dress like someone decades younger. It is, rather, about presenting yourself in a manner that honors the person you are now. Apparel that is well-fitted, impeccably clean, and appears thoughtfully chosen reflects self-awareness and personal pride. It demonstrates a continued engagement with the world, a sustained investment in how you navigate through it. When individuals encounter an older adult clad in thoughtfully selected, well-fitting attire, perhaps a crisp sweater that complements their physique, or shoes that appear polished, they experience a quiet sense of admiration. This admiration isn't contingent on a hefty price tag or a prominent brand label. It stems from the discernible effort. A straightforward enhancement, such as exchanging antiquated slacks for a modern, tailored pair, or selecting a shirt in a hue that brightens your complexion, can subtly alter how others respond to you. They perceive an individual who is present, self-assured, and deserving of esteem not due to the fabric itself, but owing to the deliberate intention behind the choice. If you are still watching this video and discovering these insights valuable, please comment fitting below to confirm your continued engagement. Your time is greatly appreciated. 4. Interrupting or dominating conversations. With the accumulation of years comes a wealth of experience, and the natural inclination to impart that wisdom is undeniable. You have traversed decades marked by lessons, successes, and formidable challenges, and there's a genuine desire to be heard. However, in that very eagerness, it's remarkably easy to inadvertently disregard the space others require to articulate their thoughts. You might find yourself interjecting to recount a personal anecdote, offering unsolicited counsel, or subtly steering the discourse toward your own viewpoint, only to later realize you've spoken uninterrupted for several minutes. This habit, though often well-intentioned, can effectively stifle genuine dialogue and leave others with a profound sense of being unheard. Individuals rarely call this out directly. Instead, they retreat quietly, initiating contact less frequently, keeping interactions concise, or hesitating to vocalize their opinions. This dynamic is particularly prevalent with younger adults or grandchildren who may already perceive a generational chasm and struggle to forge a connection. When conversations consistently feel unilateral, they disengage not out of disrespect, but because they inherently crave a reciprocal exchange. The remedy is straightforward yet incredibly potent. Listen more than you speak. Pose open-ended inquiries. Allow for moments of comfortable silence and resist the impulse to fill every pause with your own insights. When you intentionally create space for others, they feel genuinely valued and acknowledged, which, in turn, fosters deeper trust. The less you dominate the discourse, the more your contributions will be actively sought. People, especially the younger cohorts, will naturally gravitate towards you, eager for your perspective when they discern that you are genuinely attentive. By skillfully balancing the act of sharing with a sincere sense of curiosity, you become a bridge across generations, cultivating conversations that are rich, mutually beneficial, and enduring. I believe you're enjoying this video. Before we continue, make sure you subscribe, like, and share this video. Comment "wonderful" if you're enjoying this video. 5. Complaining about younger generations. In contemporary society, this often commences with a fleeting observation. Perhaps a teenager engrossed in their smartphone, seemingly oblivious to their immediate surroundings, or a young adult in their 30s making a decision that appears perplexing or ill-advised to your seasoned perspective. These instances, seemingly innocuous on their own, can progressively escalate into a consistent pattern of vocal lamentations about kids these days. The criticisms might casually slip out during family dinners, coffee gatherings with friends, or even in passing remarks to complete strangers. However, when the act of critiquing younger generations becomes an automatic reflex, it transmits a profoundly detrimental message. It signals to younger individuals that you possess no genuine interest in comprehending their perspectives, the challenges they confront, or the realities of their lives. It implies a rigid adherence to a bygone era, a persistent clinging to a version of the world that has since evolved. This particular habit is not exclusive to any single generation. Every cohort throughout history has observed those succeeding them and perceived them as lacking in some fundamental quality, be it work ethic, deference, or resilience. Yet, when criticism becomes your default interpretive lens, it transcends mere observation and transforms into an insurmountable barrier. It feels like outright rejection to those on the receiving end, fostering disconnection rather than meaningful engagement. Younger individuals may cease sharing their thoughts or seeking your counsel, sensing that their experiences will be met with judgment rather than curious inquiry. The remedy lies in pivoting your approach from one of criticism to one of genuine inquiry. Instead of declaring, "These youngsters today have it so easy," consider asking, "What is it truly like navigating the world you are growing up in?" This simple shift opens a portal to profound and meaningful dialogue. It demonstrates to younger generations that you value their insights and are willing to listen, even if their lived experience feels foreign to your own. Your true influence isn't derived from proclaiming the superiority of past ways, but from serving as a bridge between generations. When you approach younger individuals with respect and open-mindedness, they are far more inclined to engage with you authentically. They will pose questions, solicit your guidance, and turn to you not out of obligation, but because they genuinely desire to connect. That is the essence of lasting impact, an impact that begins with releasing the need to perpetually be correct about the past. Comment "generational bridge" if you believe in connecting with younger generations. 6. Oversharing medical woes. The process of aging invariably introduces physical challenges, and it's entirely natural to desire to share your experiences with others. However, when conversations consistently revolve around medical issues, every ache, every visit to the physician, every new prescription, it can, regrettably, deplete the emotional energy of those in your company. Friends, family members, and even casual acquaintances may gradually begin to feel as though they are perpetually confined to a clinical waiting room rather than enjoying a meaningful interaction. This is particularly true for younger family members who might feel overwhelmed, helpless, or simply unsure of how to adequately respond. Over time, they may subtly withdraw, not out of indifference, but due to a quiet, emotional exhaustion. This is not to imply that you should conceal your struggles or feign that everything is perfectly fine. You are deserving of empathy and support, just as anyone else is. The crucial aspect is to carefully select your moments, your audience, and maintain a thoughtful balance. Share updates about your health when it feels genuinely appropriate. but make a conscious and deliberate effort to broaden the scope of the conversation. Inquire about the lives of others, what excites them, what challenges they are currently navigating, or what brings a smile to their face. Share stories that inject vibrancy into the atmosphere, a book you found utterly captivating, the eccentric behavior of your neighbor's garden gnome, or the peculiar bird that graced your feeder with its presence. Your life is a rich and intricate tapestry of experiences that extends far beyond medical charts or diagnosis. By concentrating on elements that bring joy or ignite curiosity, you transform into an individual who uplifts others rather than inadvertently burdening them. You create an environment conducive to reciprocal connection, where individuals feel genuinely seen and valued in your presence. In doing so, you cultivate relationships that are vibrant and resilient, defined not by mere obligation, but by mutual care and shared moments of levity. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment health and happiness below to indicate your continued engagement. Thank you for your valuable time. 7. Clinging to obsolete convictions. As individuals mature, a natural consequence of accumulated life experience is the firm establishment of personal convictions and perspectives. There's a profound sense of having seen it all, a deep well of knowledge from which to draw. However, a less appealing manifestation can be a steadfast refusal to reconsider or even acknowledge the validity of viewpoints that diverge from one's own deeply ingrained beliefs. This isn't merely about holding strong opinions. It's about an unwavering insistence on the absolute correctness of one's own long-held ideas, even when confronted with compelling new information, shifting societal norms, or evolving understandings. You might hear pronouncements like, "That's not how it was done in my day," or a dismissive scoff when contemporary ideas are introduced. Imagine an individual, let's call him Mr. Davies from Manchester, who vehemently asserts that modern technological advancements are purely detrimental, ignoring the conveniences they offer. He might refuse to learn how to use a smartphone, not due to genuine inability, but from a rigid belief that it's an unnecessary complication, often declaring, "We manage just fine without all this gizmo nonsense." While his sentiment might resonate with some, his absolute dismissal alienates those who find value in progress. This inflexibility can manifest in various domains: social attitudes, political ideologies, technological adoption, or even personal routines. When a senior individual consistently dismisses alternative perspectives or new data with a fixed mindset, it inadvertently creates a barrier. Younger generations, who are often more accustomed to rapid change and diverse viewpoints, may find such rigidity off-putting or even dismissive of their own experiences. They might cease engaging in deeper conversations, preferring superficial exchanges to avoid what feels like an intellectual impasse. This isn't about abandoning your core values, but rather cultivating a graceful openness to ongoing learning and evolving societal landscapes. True wisdom isn't a static reservoir. It's a flowing river, constantly refreshed by new insights. When you demonstrate a willingness to listen, to ponder new ideas, and perhaps even to revise a long-held belief in light of fresh evidence, you project a dynamic and intellectually vibrant image. It signals that you remain engaged with the present world, that your mind is still agile and receptive. By embracing curiosity and a degree of intellectual humility, you become a compelling conversationalist, a respected elder whose experience is valued precisely because it's paired with an open mind. This fosters intergenerational respect and ensures your contributions remain relevant and engaging. Comment open mind if you believe in the power of continuous learning. 8. Navigating spaces without awareness. As the years accumulate, the natural process of aging frequently ushers in subtle yet impactful shifts in our physical and cognitive faculties. Our gait may become slower, our reaction times might subtly dull, and our acute awareness of the surrounding environment can become less precise. This physiological transformation can reveal itself in everyday scenarios that, while appearing minor, have a tangible effect on those sharing our environment. Picture yourself pausing absent-mindedly directly in the thoroughfare of a bustling supermarket aisle, utterly oblivious to the other shoppers attempting to navigate around you. Or perhaps you come to an abrupt halt in a heavily trafficked walkway, forcing others to swerve unexpectedly or come to a sudden stop. You might inadvertently drift into the trajectory of oncoming pedestrians, initiating a ripple of disruption in their movement. These actions, despite being entirely unintentional, generate friction within shared public spaces, as other individuals are compelled to adjust their movements to accommodate your presence. The majority of people will not confront you directly. Instead, their subtle frustration manifests in various ways: a hushed sigh, a swift sidestep, or a deliberate decision to avoid future interactions with you. Over time, these cumulative moments can erode the ease and fluidity of social exchanges, fostering a sense of disconnection within public settings. The key to mitigating this lies in cultivating a heightened sense of spatial mindfulness, a practice that demands both conscious intention and present awareness. Moving at a more deliberate pace is not only acceptable, but often necessary as we age. Yet, this need not come at the expense of consideration for others. By adopting straightforward, intentional habits such as consistently keeping to one side of a sidewalk, pausing in less obstructive nooks, or periodically scanning your surroundings to gauge the flow of pedestrian traffic, you can navigate shared spaces with an inherent grace. This mindful approach clearly demonstrates an awareness of the collective rhythm, ensuring that your presence enhances rather than disrupts the general environment. Beyond practical considerations, this subtle act of courtesy reflects a deeper thoughtfulness, signaling to others that you remain actively engaged with the world around you. In doing so, you foster harmony in public interactions, reinforcing your role as a considerate and connected member of the wider community. By prioritizing spatial awareness, you not only preserve your personal dignity, but also cultivate an atmosphere of mutual respect, rendering shared spaces more navigable and welcoming for everyone. Comment mindful movement if you agree on the importance of spatial awareness. 9. Recounting jokes that have not aged well. Humor, at its core, is a deeply personal form of expression, frequently molded by the cultural and social backdrops of our formative years. Jokes that once evoked boisterous laughter among acquaintances or family members might now fall flat, or worse, create palpable discomfort in today's more sensitive and inclusive social climate. Sarcastic remarks, playful teasing, or humor deeply rooted in outdated stereotypes might feel light-hearted and familiar to you, carrying the nostalgic weight of a time when such quips were commonplace. However, in the current era, where younger generations often prioritize empathy, respect, and cultural sensitivity, these types of jokes can be perceived as antiquated, insensitive, or even exclusionary. The typical response to such humor is often subtle: a forced smile, a polite chuckle, or a swift alteration of the subject. Yet, the impact is undeniable. People may begin to distance themselves, hesitant to engage in conversations where they feel misunderstood or disrespected. Over time, this disconnect can progressively weaken relationships, as others opt for superficial interactions simply to circumvent the unease created by misaligned humor. Adapting your comedic style doesn't necessitate eradicating your personality or stifling your innate sense of fun. Rather, it involves refining your approach to align with contemporary values while remaining true to your authentic voice. Before sharing a humorous anecdote, take a brief moment to contemplate its underlying intent and its potential effect. Does it uplift and foster connection, or does it depend on stereotypes or belittling remarks that might alienate? Consider leaning towards humor that promotes inclusivity, such as self-deprecating anecdotes that reveal humility, witty observations about universal human quirks, or playful banter that invites everyone into the shared laughter. This evolution necessitates a willingness to actively listen and learn, staying attuned to the continually shifting cultural landscape and the diverse perspectives of those around you. By doing so, you demonstrate not only emotional intelligence, but also a steadfast commitment to personal growth qualities that render you a relatable and approachable presence. A thoughtful, updated sense of humor serves as a vital bridge to meaningful connections, ensuring that your wit remains a source of shared joy rather than an unintended barrier. Ultimately, the capacity to laugh with others across diverse generations and backgrounds reflects a timeless wisdom that keeps you engaged and deeply valued in any social environment. If you're still engaged and finding these discussions insightful, please comment timeless humor below. 10. Feigning incapacity when able. As we advance in years, it's entirely natural to encounter situations where certain tasks feel more arduous, whether due to minor physical limitations, an unfamiliarity with new technology, or a genuine apprehension of making mistakes. However, there exists a crucial distinction between genuinely requiring assistance and habitually relying on others for tasks you are still perfectly capable of managing. Uttering phrases such as, "Can you just do this for me, please?" or "I haven't a clue how any of this contraption works," when faced with manageable challenges like operating a smartphone, carrying a light parcel, or troubleshooting a simple household device can inadvertently place an undue burden on those around you. Family members, for instance, may begin to perceive themselves as primary caregivers rather than as equal partners or peers. Similarly, friends might grow weary from the constant need to step in and handle situations. This behavior often springs from deeper insecurities, the fear of appearing foolish, the anxiety of public failure, or the sheer discomfort of navigating an increasingly complex modern world. Yet, over time, defaulting to a state of perceived helplessness risks eroding your autonomy and placing strain on your relationships, as others may begin to perceive a distinct lack of effort or personal initiative on your part. The remedy lies in embracing effort as a powerful form of empowerment, recognizing that people admire persistence far more than they do perfection. Taking on small, achievable tasks, whether it's learning to use a new application, carrying your own personal belongings, or mastering a basic household chore, builds self-confidence and significantly reinforces your sense of agency. Even if the process involves some trial and error, the very act of trying communicates resilience and determination, qualities that inherently inspire respect and admiration. When assistance is genuinely needed, approach your requests with clarity and express gratitude, ensuring that your requests are specific and respectful of others' valuable time and energy. This careful balance preserves the essential mutuality within relationships, preventing loved ones from feeling overburdened or even resentful. By actively engaging with what you can do, you project a profound sense of vitality and self-respect, demonstrating that you are still an active and contributing participant in your own life. Maintaining agency isn't about proving you can do absolutely everything independently. It's about showing up with your full capacity, seeking help thoughtfully when truly necessary, and honoring the boundaries of those who provide you with support. This approach not only fortifies your relationships, but also cultivates a deeper and more profound sense of personal fulfillment. Comment self-reliance if you value personal agency. 11. The persistent pursuit of being right. Decades of lived experience naturally cultivate a profound sense of confidence in one's accumulated knowledge and perspectives. It's entirely tempting to view your insights as the definitive, unassailable truth. However, when the deeply ingrained need to always be correct overshadows the fundamental value of genuine connection, it can profoundly impact the very fabric of your relationships. Constantly correcting the narratives of others, dismissing dissenting opinions with condescending phrases like, "Trust me, I've been around long enough to know," or rigidly insisting that your approach is the sole valid one, can create an environment where others feel consistently unheard or undervalued. This dynamic proves utterly exhausting for those around you, as it effectively stifles open dialogue and actively discourages meaningful exchange. Over time, individuals may subtly withdraw, opting for superficial conversations or withholding their thoughts entirely to circumvent potential conflict or perceived judgment. The inevitable outcome is a subtle but significant isolation, as the inherent richness of mutual understanding gradually gives way to a one-sided dynamic where your voice consistently dominates at the direct expense of genuine connection. True wisdom is not found in asserting your authority, but rather in skillfully balancing confidence with a profound sense of humility, intentionally creating space for others to contribute their own unique perspectives. Instead of framing your opinions as unassailable truths, offer them as a valuable part of a broader conversation, actively inviting others to share their insights through thoughtful questions or genuine curiosity. This approach does not diminish your vast experience. On the contrary, it significantly enhances your presence, positioning you as a reflective listener whose words carry immense weight precisely because they are delivered with genuine care and open-mindedness. By holding your perspectives with conviction, yet remaining deeply receptive to novel ideas, you foster an atmosphere of profound mutual respect where others feel genuinely valued and heard. This dynamic fundamentally transforms your interactions, making your presence one that people actively seek out and truly treasure, rather than merely tolerate. Ultimately, being wise isn't about always having the final word. It's about knowing precisely when to share your insights, when to simply listen intently, and how to create an inclusive space where everyone's voice can flourish. Comment mutual respect if you believe in valuing diverse perspectives. 12. Embracing excessive negativity or cynicism. As life unfolds and years accumulate, it's understandable to encounter disappointments, setbacks, and a myriad of experiences that might foster a jaded outlook. However, when a persistent negativity or a pervasive cynicism becomes your default mode of interaction, it can subtly yet profoundly push people away. This isn't about expressing valid concerns or having a bad day. It's about a consistent tendency to find fault, predict failure, or dismiss hope in almost every situation. You might hear comments like, "It'll never work," "People are just out for themselves," or "Things were much better in my day, now everything's going downhill." Imagine a well-meaning relative, let's call her Miss Jenkins from Toronto, who, at every family gathering, counters any good news with a pessimistic prediction or a complaint about the current state of affairs. When her niece shares exciting plans for a new business, Miss Jenkins might immediately list all the reasons it will fail or recount anecdotes of others who tried and couldn't make it work. While she might believe she's offering cautionary wisdom, her words drain the enthusiasm from the room. This pervasive negativity can be emotionally taxing for others. They may find themselves instinctively avoiding conversations with you or keeping their interactions brief and superficial as they seek to protect their own energy and optimism. Younger individuals, in particular, who are often navigating their own challenges with a sense of future possibility, can find such constant pessimism stifling and uninspiring. The antidote to this lies in cultivating a conscious appreciation for the positive aspects of life and maintaining an openness to possibility. This doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending that challenges don't exist. Instead, it's about actively seeking balance. When you catch yourself leaning into a negative thought or comment, try to find a counterpoint, or at least frame your concerns as constructive observations rather than blanket condemnations. Ask questions that encourage solutions or share stories of resilience and triumph, even if they are your own past struggles overcome. By choosing to focus, even partially, on gratitude, optimism, and the potential for good, you become a source of positive energy and inspiration for those around you. You demonstrate that despite life's inevitable difficulties, a spirit of hope and appreciation can prevail. This not only lightens the emotional burden on your relationships, but also makes you a more cherished and sought-after presence in any social setting. Comment positive outlook if you believe in finding the good in every situation. Thank you for joining us on this journey of profound self-reflection and personal growth. We've delved into 12 subtle yet significant habits that can quietly influence how others perceive us as we navigate the unique landscape of aging. And now, it's a pivotal moment to pause and genuinely reflect. What profound insights have you gleaned so far? Which of these revelations surprised you the most? And, perhaps most importantly, what single, small change are you truly ready to embrace in your own life, starting today? We passionately encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments section directly below. Let us know one specific thing you've learned and articulate precisely how you intend to integrate it into your daily practice. Your unique perspective not only enriches our community, but also serves as an invaluable source of inspiration for countless others who are on their own journey of self-improvement. If this video resonated with you and provided tangible value, please take a moment to leave your thoughtful comment below. Give us a hearty thumbs up by liking the video. Share this crucial message with your friends and family who might benefit, and, most importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel. By subscribing, you'll unlock a treasure trove of even more compelling content meticulously crafted to inform, inspire, and empower you. Your support means the world to us and fuels our mission to bring you more transformative discussions. Thanks for watching, and we absolutely can't wait to connect with you in our next illuminating video. Remember, there are countless other fascinating discussions waiting for you on our channel. Don't leave without exploring them. You might just discover your next favorite insight.